the importance of being here now and sort of the downfalls that can occur when our consciousness is too isolated in our mind. So when our consciousness is isolated in our mind, we are very much anywhere but the present. We're either thinking about the past, thinking about what we've done, maybe what we did wrong, what we did right, just ruminating in the past and what has happened already. Or we are in the future and we are thinking about what could happen, what's coming, what will happen, etc., etc. And so when we are in our mind and we are either in that past or the future, we are not present, and we actually open ourselves up to influence by other agendas, other energies, other forces that may want to manipulate the minds of others to uphold a certain agenda, to uphold certain beliefs, certain perspectives, yada, yada, yada. So, I feel like this really ties into a lot of what humanity is moving through at this time as we move through the shift of Pluto out of Capricorn into Aquarius, which is in a few weeks from when I'm filming this. I believe the exact shift is something like November 19th or something like that. So 2 weeks from today, actually. And this shift really signifies the ending of a cycle and the wrapping up of a lot of lessons that we as a collective have been learning about, who we give our power to, and basically the structures in power on planet Earth. And so as we move into Aquarius, we're going to be shifting more of our focus, and we are going to be transforming how we are of service to others, how we are of service to humanity, and how we connect with our fellow humans, how we connect with each other. And so the relevance that this has to my initial point of that when our consciousness is isolated in our minds, we are more easily influenced. And many of our thoughts are not our own, our ideas are not our own, and we're just really buying into whatever script and whatever idea really feels the most safe and feels the most predictable, and that fits into our narratives that are in our head. And so when we are present and when we come back to the present moment, when we be here now, we aren't in the past and we aren't in the future. And, a lot of politics that is very present in mainstream conscious right now, especially because today is election day, a lot of politics really thrives and feeds off of your consciousness not being here now. So you're not questioning what you're seeing. You're not questioning the consequences of the choices that these people are influencing you to make. You're not present. You're not really with the reality of things, because if you're buying into a lot of the politics and the political agendas, we are usually one side or the other is very much, talking about what was done, what people did wrong, what happened in the past, or what they're going to make happen in the future, what they're promising, the things they're promising to change, etc., etc., those things. And you're not present. You're not fully present and tuning into, what actually is a reality here and now, right in front of your face. You're just endlessly thinking about what this person did and what they did wrong, or what this person is going to do and what this person is going to change. And so when our consciousness stays isolated in the mind and we are not here, we're not present, we also don't feel how toxic our bodies are becoming. We don't feel the effects of low vibrational food, of genetically modified food, of all these, red 5 and all these dyes and these seed oils and all this stuff that's in our food. We don't feel the effects of that toxicity when we are in our mind. When you're eating, just shoveling food in your mouth, thinking about, what you got to do next and where you're going to go, or, what this person said to you 5 years ago, you're not present. You're not actually digesting that food, feeling if that food is nourishing you or if it's just distracting you from the present moment. Because a lot of these mind games and these consciousness traps that keep our consciousness isolated in our mind, it is really designed to keep us disconnected from our senses in the present moment, or to keep our senses so clogged up with like seeking highs and seeking these heightened sensations that we don't fully feel it. We don't fully experience it and digest it and connect with whatever we're consuming or whatever we're connecting with in the moment. And so really the point of this talk is to inspire you to be more present. You know, wherever you are today and in the coming days, weeks, and through the rest of your life, honestly, the more present you can be, the more you can discern what agendas you're buying into, if they actually serve you or if they're just serving the wants and needs of others. Meaning, you know, everybody has an agenda. And this is something that it can be a hard pill to swallow at times because, you know, everybody has an agenda, and sometimes certain people's agendas can align with ours and sometimes they don't. More self-serving agendas, which are very present at this time on planet Earth because there's just so much like manicness and so much just like separation and scarcity, and so many of us are just really seeking to assert our own agendas and to serve ourselves because we feel like we're lacking. We feel like there's not enough for us, and we feel like we need to survive. We need to do it to survive. And you know, when we understand what agendas we are aligning with and which ones we are feeding, we can more discern which agendas will better serve us in the long run. So do we want to support people who want to make America healthy again, who want to, you know, serve the people, and who know, or at least are bringing awareness to the corruption that is running rampant behind the scenes? Or are we going to serve people whose agendas are to just keep us distracted and to keep us in this divide and conquer, separate, seeing your fellow human as, you know, not human, essentially? And I'm not applying this to either side of politics. I'm saying look at both sides, look at it all, weigh all the options and see, you know, what agendas do you support? You know, do you want to just be distracted? Do you want to believe that, you know, are you ready to believe that there is no one we can give our power to that can make changes for us? Yes, we all need leaders. And yes, this is the way I believe that a human society functions well, is to have leaders. However, when we give all of our power to those leaders, and we give all of our power to these agendas that are over us, that are, you know, seemingly, you know, running the world, are these systems and these structures we're feeding our energy into, do they have our best interest at heart? That's sort of what I am getting at. I was kind of going off on a tangent there, but the powers that be, or the powers that were, they very much understand that when your consciousness is isolated within your mind, meaning when you are constantly upholding your beliefs over others, insisting that you're right and this person's wrong, you are better than this person, you are worse than this person. When you're always in your mind projecting all these judgments, thinking about the future, thinking about what this person is going to do to change things, or thinking about the past and what this person did wrong, then you're never fully going to bring yourself into the present moment and actually do anything. You're never going to actually change anything as long as your consciousness is isolated within your mind. And so how can you bring yourself back into the body? Well, one of the most common practices to do that since ancient times, all these shamanic practices and lineages use this technique, is to focus on your breath. So bring your attention to your breath, just breathe, and then kind of tune into your senses. Because yes, a lot of this system has been designed to like overpower our senses and to just give us these insane sensations that really distract us from what's really going on. Meaning, you know, you eat a bag of Cheetos and the insane, sensational, cheesy taste is distracting you from all the harmful chemicals that's actually in that food. but actually really tune into your senses after doing a few breaths. Like, what do you see? What do you smell? What do you touch? What do you feel? That brings your awareness into your full body, your full range of senses. And instead of just interpreting everything from what you think, what you've been told, what you think is right, what you want to be right, whatever you're attached to at the level of mind, really bring your awareness and your focus to how things make you feel. Weigh both sides of any situation. If you swing in any polarity politically, well, look at the other side. Because what I've seen by really just sitting in the middle of it and just looking at both sides, like not choosing one side as better or worse, I've really seen that both sides are mirror reflections of each other. That what one side thinks about the other side thinks the exact same thing. Like the propaganda that's being fed on one side of the news spectrum, the exact same thing, just replace names and replace labels, is happening on the other side. And now that's not to say that one side or the other may have different agendas, and one side may have our best interest at heart more than another. One side may want to keep us distracted, and one side is actually trying to liberate us and to share the information that we need to transcend this period of ignorance we've been in. However, no side is the savior. It is the middle way, and in honoring both sides of all situations, all relationships, all scenarios, just honoring those dual sides, that is how we get through this transition we're in. And that, in my opinion, is how we actually do be here now, is to really shut off the mind and its excessive thinking and its labels and its judgments and its perspectives, and just be with the awareness of the body. And that is how we do start to open up to multidimensional awareness, and how we do reconnect with our soul and the spiritual energies that are around us. It's how we disconnect from and transcend the matrix, as I say a lot, because the matrix operates through the mind. Its entire operating system depends on you upholding it mentally, by you feeding into it, by you thinking the thoughts that are fed into your consciousness. And so when you really do step out of the mind, and this doesn't mean to walk around as a mindless zombie, just la-di-da, everything's great. That's the other polarity, the flighty, hippie, out to lunch, tripping on acid all the time energy. Yes, both, polarities, the excessive thinking, but the excessive being, are these two extremes. But when we can meet them in the middle, and we can honor our perspectives, we can honor even, as I mentioned, past and future, we can honor where we've come from, what we've done, who we've been. But we also need to remember to honor who we are becoming and who we can become in the future. But it is also most important to remember that everything is happening in the present moment. That all these future thoughts that we project out, and all these past thoughts that we're bringing back, it's all happening in the present moment. And the only way we can create anything is through the present moment, and through bringing our awareness back to here and now. And so I invite you all to transcend the matrix and reconnect with your soul at this time of global awakening and massive change and all that jazz. Because I truly believe that this is how we are going to create a more harmonious world for our children and for ourselves. We don't have to submit to these systems. We don't have to fight, and say prove ourselves and prove that we're right and this person's wrong. We don't have to fight anymore. Yes, we can wield our swords of sovereignty and truth and justice. However, we have to know when to put the swords down, and when the fight isn't worth it, when the fight is taking more than it's giving, when the fight is depleting more than it's enriching. We are at the cusp of crazy times, but this isn't to spread fear. Whatever happens today and in the weeks to come and in the years to come, I do believe that it is all divinely supported, and that whatever is meant to happen is going to happen for the highest good of all, even if we don't understand it. And even if we're judging it to be wrong, because one half of the country is going to be pissed tonight, and the other half is going to be ecstatic and thrilled. Which half is it going to be? And let's remember that even if you're on the winning side, the other side is on the losing side and they feel like shit. And if you're on the losing side, remember that whoever is on the winning side, if they were the losers, they would feel that way too. That no matter what happens, see the other side and trust that it's all happening for us, not to us. I think that's all I've got. I'm sending you all so much love. Best of luck as we navigate these tides of change and global upheaval. And Miss Noma wants to say hello and goodbye. We say we love you. We hope you have a good day. It's a Tuesday. Have a great Tuesday. Much love, people. Sending so much love. Peace out.